Now, with the latest season coming to an end and with a very long wait ahead of us for the next season, let's take a look back at season 7 at what a lot of people are saying was the best season yet. Welcome back to Wentworth Life, the YouTube channel that talks everything Wentworth. If you'd like to keep up to date with the latest Wentworth gossip, then please hit that subscribe button for all your latest news. So, now if you're like me and you have Wentworth withdrawals, then don't panic. There is another season just around the corner, but until the new season drops next year, let's talk about season 7. Okay, so in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion, season 7 was definitely one of the best seasons since season 3. Now, that doesn't mean that we didn't enjoy seasons 4, 5 and 6, but season 7 just had everything. Everything from fight scenes to bomb explosions, hostage situations, new characters, massive amounts of deaths, and some really great character building storylines. Now, I think season 7 definitely had the highest count death when it comes to the death scenes. So we had poor Ray getting gunned down in episode 1. We tragically were traumatized by Kaz's death in episode 4. And then in the final episode we had the big siege where we had 4 characters killed off in one episode. So we had Costa, Boomer's mum May Jenkins, the evil Sean Brody, and of course our favourite Liz Birdsworth. So the death count was very high this season. I think definitely the biggest in any season in Wentworth. So some great moments to mention is the character relationship between Rita and Vera. I mean, the episode where Ruby's life was on the line, Vera really stepped up, and it was fantastic to see an officer-prisoner relationship blossom the way it did. And what was surprising in this season was how the audience ended up liking Jake Stewart, but hating Mr. Jackson. I mean, Jake was stepping up to be a really good officer this season. I mean, remember the scene when he does the dance with Liz? Oh, such a lush scene. But then we had Will, who was just being blinded by the evil Mari Winter, and it was causing us all to scream at the TV screens. And it really hurts me to say that, because Mr. Jackson has always been one of my favourite characters. Another good turnaround in the later half of the season was when Ali finally woke up to Mari's scheming and stood up to Mari in the laundry. I mean, that was a really good scene when she stood up to her. And also she ended up shooting Mari in the leg during the season final. And for one moment there, it did look like that Ali was actually going to kill Mari. And I think maybe she might have if season 7 was going to be the final season. But I've got a feeling that Mari is going to be coming back in season 8. That's just a guess. Don't take that as gospel. It's just a guess. But I do think Ali finally redeemed herself by the end of season 7, and I just hope in the next season she carries on improving and the writers give us some great storytelling. So Kaz's death scene was extremely shocking. But it was a scene that I called that was going to happen a week before. It just felt like that they were literally setting her character up for a whodunit storyline, and I was still really shocked that it happened, you know. But I can see why it happened, as I felt the writers probably needed somehow to move on with other certain storylines. As season 7 was only 10 episodes long, and they clearly had the siege storyline planned from the start. So Kaz's death created new storylines and it helped move things along, like for example Mari becoming the top dog and things. The writers also do this a lot with characters, but they get the audience to fall in love with certain characters and then the buggers kill them off. I mean, Jake Stewart, you need to watch your back because we actually love you at the moment, so your days may be numbered. But of course, the biggest shock of all was the return of Joan Ferguson right at the end of the season. Ferguson was seen standing around with a load of homeless people in the street, leaving viewers gasping for air. We will obviously have to wait until next year for the new season to find out what's happened and what is Ferguson's next move. But here is a little fun fact for you that you may or may not know. but the writers were actually toying with the idea to bring back B. Smith from the dead instead of Ferguson. Danielle, who plays B. Smith, was actually told about the idea and was asked to be available for filming if needed for those final scenes. But in the end, the writers decided to bring back Ferguson instead of B. But the writers still paid Danielle, so it nearly happened, guys. So basically it was a choice to either bring back John Ferguson or B. Smith. But the writers decided to go down the Ferguson path. Let me know in the comments box below, would you have preferred it if the writers had brought back B? Or are you happy that they've gone down the Ferguson route? For me personally, I think the Ferguson route was a bit more safer, because Ferguson was buried alive. I know we saw a dead body, but you know, it was never cleared up, the dead body thing. Fortunately for B's character, she was stabbed about a dozen times by a thick screwdriver, and it would have been a lot harder trying to explain how B could have survived that, and where the hell did she go, and why did she leave Ali behind. You know, so I think that's why we definitely went for the Ferguson route. But let me know in the comments box below what you think. So yeah, that was just a quick and cheerful. That's the end of Season 7. We have a lot of unanswered questions that need answering in the new season. There won't be any news of Season 8 for a while, but sometimes we do get the cheeky interviews from cast members who sometimes let something slip. And sometimes we get some information about any new characters that are arriving, so make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, as I will be posting videos as soon as new information is available. And my next video is going to be a top 10, it's going to be a top 10 Kaz Proctor moments, so get ready for that one. Alright guys, stay tuned, and I will see you next time.